Comedians v working class. Big up American Reader. Let's reload this. Big up everybody tuning in. Smash the fucking like button down below. Click subscribe. Join and become a member. I'm trying to hit 500 members by the end of the month. If you can help, join the member.
It's like the way we talk
below.
To each other as
membership
comics,
link down below.
You can't make those kind of jokes sometimes with regular people. Like regular people where you insult. Like you could say like the most heinous joke to Tony Hinchcliffe, and he would fall on the ground laughing.
Yes. So there seems to be this notion in the Rogan sphere that comedians are the only people on Earth who know how to quote-unquote bust each other's balls. Regular civilians like you or I, well, we're simply incapable of grasping such a concept.
Remember, this is the worst social thing you could do by accident.
One sec. Apologies. My computer's going a bit slow. Apologies.
It's like the way we talk to each other as comics. You can't make those kind of jokes sometimes with regular people. Like regular people where you insult. Like you could say like the most heinous joke to Tony Hinchcliffe, and he would fall on the ground laughing, holding his side.
Yes. So there seems to be this notion in the Rogan sphere that comedians are the only people on Earth who know how to quote-unquote in the Rogan sphere.
One sec. One more time. We use one more time, man. Only comedians know anything about jokes, by the way.
It's like the way we talk to each other as comics. You can't make those kind of jokes sometimes with regular people. Like regular people where you insult. Like you could say like the most heinous joke to Tony Hinchcliffe, and he would fall on the ground laughing, holding his side.
Yes. So there seems to be this notion in the Rogan sphere that comedians are the only people on Earth who know how to quote-unquote bust each other's balls. Regular civilians like you or I, well, we're simply incapable of grasping such a concept.
Remember when this was the worst social thing you could do by accident?
Have a pinky out?
Like, oh no!
Your friends would mock you.
We saw him!
Yeah, I think that might be just us. That might be a comedian's thing.
That's how you first get into it.
If regular guys are drinking coffee, I bet they do this all the time. They don't even think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't think someone's going to jump all over them and mock them.
But on the rare occasion, the regular working class civilian will stand up to the comedic assassins and destroy them in their very own profession, resulting in some of the most satisfying moments in comedy. Take for
missed you more, young old vibes. Missed you more, sis. Love and light.
For example, the time when David Lucas got out-roasted by a random girl after he insulted her body.
Oh yeah, I remember this. This was good. Big up this girl. Whoever this girl was, big up this girl. She killed it. Big up this blood clot girl. Hold on, let it load. Come on.
For about a minute or so.
You got something else you want to say? Go ahead.
No, I was waiting.
I'll fucking roast them breast cancer titties you got too. That bitch got 2 medium-sized water balloons in her shirt.
These starting to sound like compliments.
I like big titties. Them titties will get you nowhere.
Well, great. I don't want to be anything you like because I don't want to look like a roast beef sandwich.
Yeah.
Big up that girl one more time. Whoever that girl was, you're a fucking legend. Because now watching the clip back, right, she was being kind. She was resisting the urge to say anything mean. But he kept pushing. She's like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to say something mean. She could have left it at like, okay, I don't want to be anything you like, right? But she had to like double, she had to kind of give it a little bit more oomph to kind of put the message, drum the message home. Wow. I didn't realize how much restraint she showed before. She was actually trying to be nice and not say anything, but he kept pushing. She said, all right, cool. I'm going to let this thing fly. One more time for the top. Big up that girl.
In comedy. Take, for example, the time when David Lucas got out-roasted by a random girl after he insulted her body for about a minute or so.
You got something else you want to say? Go ahead.
No, I was waiting.
I'll fucking roast them breast cancer titties you got too. That bitch got 2 medium-sized water balloons in her shirt.
These starting to sound like compliments.
I like big titties. Them titties will get you nowhere.
Well, great. I don't want to be anything you like because I don't want to look like a roast beef sandwich.
Yeah. Oh my God, y'all like that bullshit? Woo!
They're hungry.
You got the titties of one of R. Kelly's sex victims, bitch. Your ass.
You got the titties of big titties. You got big titties.
I mean, for a guy that's considered to be the greatest roaster.
That was so good. You got the big titties of big titties.
In Kill Tony history, he got served up pretty easily here. And in all fairness, he took it pretty well. Like, at least he didn't get all butthurt about it like some other comics do when regular civilians get under their skin. Because a lot of these so-called killers are actually pretty sensitive on the inside. Like, you don't even have to say much to really get to them. And the best example...
He's such a small... Look at him. He's such a small man, isn't it? He's such a small man. Oh, by the way, that's what I read online. A lot of people are saying the same things about... what do you call it? Free my guy Luigi Mangione. Free my guy Luigi Mangione. But allegedly, a bunch of girls went to Luigi Mangione's court appearance. Some random girls on social media decided to go. And I think the first thing they all noticed was how small my guy Luigi Mangione is in real life. Because he's, I don't know, I think they thought he's like 6'9" or something. So if Luigi Mangione is small, but I think Luigi makes... Imagine how small Bryan must be in real life. Imagine how small and dainty Bryan must look in real life. Like, he just, I mean, this little old man that just doesn't shut the fuck up.
Actually pretty sensitive on the inside. Like, you don't even have to say much to really get to them. And the best example of this that I could think of was a couple of years ago when Andrew Schultz's court jester, Akash Singh, got infuriated by one of the audience members who was seemingly uninterested in Akash's lackluster jokes.
And I'm trying to power through the set, but when I'm done with my set and I see him doing this, that shit, there is no way your left hand is more interesting than what we're doing up here for an hour.
You clearly want to go home. I don't know why the fuck you didn't leave already. This guy's sitting here picking his fucking calluses on his hand for 10 minutes. Just go. Who gives a fuck?
And then I just fucking lost it. I was like, with all my jokes, fuck this guy. How is this more polite than just getting up and walking out?
The guy thinks he's funnier than me. Fucking Brits, dude.
I'm so glad that bitch died. So glad that bitch died. Never been more glad a bitch died in my life. This whole time I didn't care. I was like, whatever, 92-year-old bitch died. Who cares what she did to India? I'm over it. I'm not over it anymore. That bitch. Ha! You get those jokes, don't you? You don't have a hard time understanding that?
It's funny how that guy just sitting there
exactly
doing
doesn't care.
Nothing will probably live in Akash's head for the rest of his life. I mean, the dude's just sitting there chilling. And just because he's not ROFLing at every one of Akash...
Fucking hell! That's the most British response I've ever seen to someone like a... Look at the rolling of the eyes. He really couldn't give a fuck. Chilling.
And just because he's not ROFL...
That's a comedian's worst nightmare, isn't it? Somebody who doesn't laugh. Somebody doesn't think it's that funny. Like, he's not mad enough to leave. Like, he's not bored enough to leave. But he's not gonna laugh just because he's there. Like,
powerful bunch.
Yo, big up your
David Lucas looking like Dave Blunt's twin brother.
Yeah, David Lucas is, yeah. He's gonna be, But the funny thing is it me or do I feel like... Weird thing to throw out here. But in media and entertainment, does it feel like fat black people outlive white fat people? Or is that not true? I feel like big people... like Dave Blunt size, Dave Lucas size, don't die as early or as often as their white counterparts. I feel like there's been bare prominent white people who I've seen who are that. I don't know why. Is that a thing or is that not true?
At every one of Akash's bad jokes, Akash felt the need to go off on him for 5 minutes straight.
Can you do me a favor? Can you just come sit here for 5 minutes? Just look at this guy. Can you see him from here? You only see this part of his face. You don't see the shitty part is right here. You paid for this shit, I bet. He wouldn't do this if he paid. Remember what I said about being disrespectful? F all of it. Out the window.
And the funniest part about this whole thing is that Akash posted this interaction to his own YouTube channel as if he served an utter grand slam to this guy. But in reality, all he did was expose himself.
He deserved it. I don't know if we put this out because it's so mean, but he
Deserve it. It was fun, to be honest with you. I had a good time.
And after watching this clip again, guys, it sure does seem like Akash has a lot of inner rage built up inside of him. Like, it must suck knowing that all he'll ever be known for is being the guy who laughs like a hyena at everything Andrew Schulz says. But anyways, not all comedians have a short fuse like Akash. Take Bryan Callen, for example. Some of Bryan's funniest moments are when he gets made fun of on his
Powerful
podcast.
bunch.
And unlike some people...
Yeah, big up.
Good eye roll. That's a British guy's who's beams emoji.
Exactly.
He actually leans into the jokes about him, which makes it that much more enjoyable. Like when Matan Evan roasted him when he was a guest on Matan's show.
So you have matured a little bit since then, I'll give you that.
You think so?
In some ways, you've got older and your face looks older.
Dude.
Have you ever made a person laugh before?
Yeah, I'm a comic, dude. I'm really good at stand-up comedy.
There are some topics, though, that old Bry is still cautious about, like the whole Fighter and the Kid subreddit and their massive hatred for Brendan Schaub and him. Like, he'd much rather stay away from that. So Matan knew that this would be the perfect angle to take with Callen, and sort of ambushed him with the subject.
Oh, what's his name?
Brendan Schaub. Very funny man.
Oh,
Cracks
he's
me up.
funny?
Very funny. Very strong.
Do you legally have to say that?
No. Listen, do you listen to Fighter and the Kid?
I hear about it from different sources.
So you're hearing a third party, dude. I need you to get involved in the podcast Fighter and the Kid, and you will see that I'm not just the only genius in that fucking duo. It's Brendan Schaub.
I'll tell you
Big
this,
Brown
I'm
Schaub.
a big part of the community.
Are you talking about the underground community? You son of a bitch.
There's a couple 100,000 of us now.
You're part of that community?
I
bet you
started
that
it.
fucking guy is too.
And I used,
you started it?
Oh, you know what email I use too?
Which?
You know.
What is it?
Tiger Belly.
But I actually think the best moment from this podcast was when Matan got Bryan Callen to admit that Joe Rogan was one of the worst comedians that he knows, which wasn't even what Matan intended. Like, he wanted Bryan to say Brendan Schaub, but instead, Bryan brought up Joe Rogan.
Within your friend group, who do you think are the 5 funniest comedians?
I think Bill Burr. I think Dov Davidoff. I think Steve Byrne cracks me up. I think Andrew Santino is hilarious.
Okay, well, let's move on to the next segment.
Sorry.
Who now the 5 least funny? So now you can get to those guys.
Exactly.
Dude, let me explain.
I'm just
Matan, do you understand? He could make one phone call. He could open his fucking window and whisper, and this whole podcast goes away.
Oh, are we talking about Brendan Schaub or Joe Rogan?
We're talking about Joe Rogan.
Oh, I love Joe Rogan. He's funny. Oh.
Also, while we're on the topic of Joe Rogan, I don't think I can make this video without including him, because out of everyone in this circle jerk, he might be the most sensitive when it comes to regular people having a go at him, as he is the originator of this whole mindset where comedians are far more superior than the regular Joe Schmo. And he's been this way.
And he's also the person that popularized the idea that comedians or prominent people shouldn't read comments. Don't read comments. Like, why wouldn't you want to read comments? Why wouldn't you want to find out what people say about the content you're putting out? Obviously, don't take everything to heart. You don't listen to every fucking suggestion. You're not fucking trying to crowdsource all of your fucking ideas all the time. You know what I mean? But this idea that you are somehow better than the audience that you fucking make content for, or that you're trying to entertain, is fucking ridiculous, really. And it makes comedians they're already very thin-skinned anyway. That's the nature of their business, I guess, in some respects. They're already very, very thin-skinned, very impervious to any kind of criticism. And then Rogan tells them that reading comments is beneath them. And it makes him even more paranoid and weird. So odd.
His entire life. Like, there's this ancient video of him on YouTube from 2007 where Joe gets into a heated argument with a feminist, who even I'll admit is beyond insufferable in this video, but I still applaud her for rage baiting Joe into a full-on mental breakdown.
Hi, I'm Lydia Lunch. I think I'm just getting material here, so I thought I'd cut in.
You said what?
I think I'm just getting material here, so I thought I would just cut in.
Sorry, it's not really working though.
I love your routine.
Thank you.
I'm not a comedian, I deal with tragedy, but we have similar subjects. You know, the way that you talk about women, I talk about men, but in a serious way. It's great.
So at first it seemed pretty cordial between the two, but as soon as the feminists started criticizing Joe's stand-up, you can tell that his blood was starting to boil. And he finally reached his breaking point with her when she started to emasculate him in front of everyone at the bar.
Honey, you wouldn't get any material. You wouldn't get any material out of me like you were getting out of them. So I said, look, I'm not with these clownish impersonations of women with no brains but lots of beauty. Oh, okay.
Well, the ones that are smart are
look
never
in my eyes when you're talking.
I know, exactly. I always do that.
I don't think so, Joe.
Oh yes, I do. Stop this dumb intimidation stuff. I was thinking of a lot of things.
I
think I lived down. Don't go attacking me. I see where you're going with this. I see exactly where you're going with this. I don't think so, Joe. Don't start that shit with me.
So Joe just simply couldn't let that go. And as you'll see shortly, this little back and forth quickly escalated into a Joe Rogan shouting match. And it got so bad to the point where everyone in the bar went silent just to hear this meltdown.
No, it's because you try to tell people what to do. Don't tell people where to look. That's not how you communicate with adults. You don't tell them, look in my eyes. I'm not your dog, and I'm not a little kid. No, you don't talk to people like that. That's dumb. That's not gonna
put
work.
my cigarette out up his nose, but that's okay.
Gotta do it.
I don't.
So don't threaten it.
I'm not threatening.
This is dumb shit.
No, it's fine.
Yes, it is.
It's fine.
No, it's dumb. You put your cigarette out.
Fucking hell, Joe, man. Shut the fuck up, bro. Ay, ay, ay. Joe when he's drunk. Joe's the worst type of person to be around when he's lit in it. Ay, 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 Joe. She's annoying, you're annoying, everyone's annoying. Hey!
You a puncher, right?
No, I don't think so. No, shake on that, because I'm not going to punch him either.
But you know,
don't say you're gonna. Then that's for idiots. That's dumb. No, you say no. I'm not on stage. I'm talking. You saying you're gonna burn me with your cigarette? You're not burning anybody. That's dopey talk. That's dopey dumb talk.
And then the woman kind of crosses the line here and touches Joe on the face. And that sends him into an absolute rage.
You're not burning people. What are you, fucking tough? You're gonna burn people? You're an out-of-shape older woman. You're not burning anybody.
You're not a shape younger woman.
I'm in very good shape.
I bet you are. Just keep working on it.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I know that.
No, fuck, this is dopey shit. I'm gonna burn you, and then you touch my face.
Powerful bunch.
Fucking hell,
Is this the marketplace of ideas he talks about?
Exactly. The legendary comedy. This is the legendary comedy. This is the legendary comedy store hang. Remember that. The legendary comedy store hang, where the greatest minds meet. Right. Yeah. The marketplace of ideas. This. No wonder people like staying in. When I see shit like this, because in the moment this is fun, right? In the moment, I'm sure if you're there with a beer, with a cigarette in your hand, with a joint, you got some multivitamins in your pocket, this is fun. But watching this back, this sounds excruciating. I get why some people just stay indoors. I get why some people just avoid bars, clubs, whatever, and just stay indoors. Because this is exhausting. Exhausting. And it's a mood killer too. This is a fucking mood killer.
This is dopey talk. It might work on other people who are impressed by you. No, not insecurity. I don't think you're cool. I was nothing but cool to you until you started trying to tell me what to do. Why? Because you're insecure and you're used to people paying attention to you. Immediately you come over to me, you have to tell me about your act and what you do and you do and you do. How about just talking as a human being? You ever try that? Just talking. Stop telling people what to do. Yeah, I'm screaming at you because you need to hear this shit. Because you're always dominant over people, aren't you?
Baby.
Yeah, you are. That's why you felt insecure around me. You tried to get me to do what you wanted me to do. Look me in the eyes, Joe. Don't look down the ground. Don't talk to those girls.
Powerful
I know
bunch.
people like you.
Fucking hell.
His documentary's gonna be wild.
Fucking hell, Joe Rogan, man. Ay. To be fair, maybe I'm special in that regard. Big up Black American. But like, I don't know about you, but I have a real hard time respecting men that get so much satisfaction out of like arguing with women like this. Like going back and forth, trying to read them, dress. It's a real lame trait. Guys who really enjoy arguing with women, like, as a man, get your point across, draw the line, and walk away. You know what I mean? Make your feelings known, make your feelings heard, however you may feel if they disrespected you, but move on. He's still going on and on. This is like some baddie shit. Like, relax, Joe, man. Enough. Like, ay, bro. Like she's not a threat to you physically. You're giving her a bit of a good dressing down. She understands your point now. Everyone around you knows you're right. Simmer the conversation down and walk away. Go somewhere else. Turn around. Go to your friends. Jump in your car. It ain't that deep, bruh. Fucking hell, Rogan. Ay.
You're pathetic. Save it. Dumb. It's all dumb. I'm not like you. You might have tricked them. You're not going to trick me.
Not tricking anybody.
Save it.
Educate yourself.
No, it's ugly. You're dark and mysterious. I forgot because you're unhappy.
I'm not. I'm very
You're unhappy.
happy.
That's
Very
why you
happy.
with people.
Very
You're dark and mysterious.
Doesn't know me. Doesn't know me.
I don't have to.
And then people in the comments on this video are actually in support of Joe. But please don't be fooled. Like, I agree that the lady shouldn't have put her hands on his face, but other than that, I think this whole rant by Joe just shows how thin his skin really is. Much like that situation with Akash and the audience member. Like, these hacky guys think getting really loud and talking really fast is them owning their intended target, but really it's just a dead giveaway showing that they're really hurt on the inside.
Exactly.
But anyways, guys, moving along, I don't think I can end this video without mentioning the time when Sketch went on to Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino's podcast and brutally roasted Bobby Lee. Like, for just being a streamer who plays video games and streams at the FaZe house, his timing and delivery here was just amazing.
You on the wrestling team?
For a little bit. It sucked. You get your ass kicked a couple times?
Yeah,
I was a chubby 170, so I'd go out there and wrestle like a real 170.
Wow.
They kind of like throw you around.
You know, this guy was an extremely good high school wrestler. So was his brother.
Really?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. What weight? No, you guess the weight. Guess the weight.
I thought sumo was one weight.
Bro, very funny.
Brilliant.
But I just, because I just want to.
Asian jokes are layups. I'm sorry. Y'all don't fight back. Y'all don't fight back.
Well, they can't.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
And this was around the time when Sketch got leaked on Twitter, so I just feel like Sketch went into this with nothing left to lose.
And what weight do you think I wrestled?
You look like you're probably 180 right now.
Oh,
maybe
my
like
God.
a little
Ow,
softer.
ow.
The fact that
Wait, what do you think you're? Wait, you're not 180?
I am.
You put a 1 in front of it? How'd you start with a 1?
Okay, 225.
225.
Yeah.
225.
Wow, I gotta get on Ozempic, I think.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the final straw.
No, it's he.
Yeah, dude, that was fucking crazy.
Okay,
dude.
you
think I came in aggressive? Right? Sumo, and then I'm 280. What the fuck is going on around here,
you look like you got soft skin. Come on. In a good way, though.
In a good way, yeah. I do. I love this guy, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Hey, we'll be tip to tip later.
Yeah, you will.
Wait, whoa, stop. Can we slow down?
No.
I'm sweating now.
Yeah.
I'm sweating now.
So you're drooling a little.
Yeah, I'm drooling too.
And then Sketch's final grand slam on Bobby was when they were discussing what would happen if they docked each other.
You mean dock?
Space docking? Yeah.
Space docking?
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like this, huh?
Am I the pinky? Oh, you're both
Friendly
pinkies.
fire.
Oh, well, yeah. You have a nice penis?
Check Google.
Okay. God, this guy's fast, dude. This guy's so fast, dude.
Check Google.
We love you, dude.
I love you, boy.
You see, Bobby Lee is a true comedian. And even though Sketch was throwing insult after insult at Bobby, Bobby recognized that what Sketch was saying was actually hilarious. So he improv'd with him all the way to the end of the show. And with
Isn't it funny that regular streamers, regular guys, non-comedians are usually way funnier than the comedians? To be fair, when it comes to Bad Friends, I feel Bad Friends is one of the exceptions. It's actually a funny podcast. I think Andrew and Bobby do a good job of trying to be funny most of the time. And the rest of the cast too, Jules, everybody else, they do a good job. But I always love it how usually regular people end up being way funnier than comedians.
With that being said, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. If you have any other examples of comedians getting rage baited by people, do let me know in the comment section down below. Because
before you start exercising yourself, or maybe it's the age thing, but you guys maybe again I'm gonna explode myself because fuck it, because it makes good content. But you guys remember being somewhat impressed and sometimes motivated when you saw clips of Rogan doing these things. Oh my God, he podcasts, he has these hours long conversations and he puts out so many episodes per week, plus he works out, plus the UFC, plus what you remember, you'd think you see these things, you'd be like impressed. Now you see these clips and you just think he's a goofy. You think he's a bit of a bozo, you know? You think he's a bit of a lame. But back then, again, I'm gonna humbly admit, and I'm gonna expose myself because some of you motherfuckers are gonna be like, no, I always knew Rogan wasn't it. Like, you're gonna lie. I know it. You're gonna lie. You're gonna try to make yourself look awesome. But I'm gonna expose myself and I'm gonna say there was a time when I was listening to Rogan where I'd be impressed by all that shit, you know? I'd also want to buy myself a wooden cutting board and fucking slice up bits of steak and put cheese on top of it and shit. You know, I'd also want that life. There was a time in my life where I'd want that. Now it's not the same, but there was a time in my life where I'd want that and where I'd be impressed by kettlebell swings. I'd be impressed by overhead presses. I'd be impressed by pad work. I'd be impressed by the sound of his fucking shins hitting the fucking heavy bag. Like, ha! 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 You know what I mean? Now not so much, but there was a time. I'll be young old vibes. No, AZ. It was only you. Oh, fuck you all in the stream chat. Nope, it's just you. AZ used to have on it. Big up Big Biggie. I used to binge watch, listen to the podcast. It's been almost a decade now. He used to have dreams about how bow hunting and would wear the toe slippers. AZ a sucker for marketing. Yep to Makazi. Yep. Oh, I hate this stream chat, man. You're all liars, man. You're all fucking liars. You're all fucking liars. I hate this stream chat with all my heart. You are all liars. I don't care. You're all fucking liars. Anyway, next one. Actually, let's check the comments quick. I want to check what they're saying in the comments about this. Rogan is a comedian. Katy Perry is an astronaut. Elon Musk is an inventor. What are we doing here, B? Ah, that's good. That's a good one. That's a fucking good one. That is a fucking... God, like that. That's a great comment. The fact that they call non-comedian civilians is the most cringe, delusional shit I've possibly heard. The irony of Rogan saying the only comics understand heinous jokes whilst regularly allowing guests witty comments to fly over his head is beyond me. Rogan calling himself a comedian is his best joke. Oh my god, I've got the hiccups now. David Lucas as the best roast of Kill Tony is quite the indictment of that garbage show. Rogan didn't work in construction long enough to know that they say funnier shit daily than he's ever said during his entire professional stand-up career. Exactly. I think I've laughed more in my life working. The shittier the job usually, the more prone you are to having the best time in terms with your colleagues and shit. The worse the job is, because the job is so bad that you and your colleagues have to kind of distract from the horrors of it. So that means working in a kitchen, working in a pub, working in a bar, working in a hotel, working in a hospital or some shit. Like, those jobs that are like soul crushing usually have some really fun times. Usually have some really fucking fun times, I swear to God. And there's usually at least one person at work that is just funny, like even without trying, and probably funnier than any of Rogan's friends. The way Joe refers to comedians as us is the funniest shit I've ever heard. Us civilians can't relate to the assassins. Rogan's fear comedians are the prime example of dishing it out but can't take it. Akash is a bum. Comedy career will forever be immortalized by the legend who didn't laugh at a single joke. Shafir is just such a creep. The Rogan sphere is the worst thing to happen to comedy scene. Joe, quote, guy who didn't have a friend group until 50, became the gatekeeper for a full section of entertainment industry. Rogan doesn't understand we all have friend groups. Wow, that's a good point, you know. Rogan, who didn't have a friend group until his 50s. That's a really good point. No wonder he's a bit skewed then, isn't it? Imagine you only get like your big group of friends once you become rich and famous. It kind of skews your idea of what friendship is, and it kind of skews your idea of what human interaction is in general. Because you had such a weird one, isn't it? I wonder if that plays a part in it. I wonder. What else is said here? One second. One second. Oh shit, someone tried to call me. What? Oh, I got, okay, cool. Akash acts like a Gen and Alpha kid. Schultz's lapdog is such a pathetic loser. He has this little hissy fit because someone wasn't laughing or playing along to his phone. Damn, Rogan got tilted hard. Not gonna lie, Bryan was great in the Matan podcast. Probably one of the best guests ever. Okay, cool. Cool.